Hi everyone, my name's Scott. Welcome to Planes, Trains, Everything. It's been said there's a 62% chance a YouTuber will experience burnout at some point during their YouTube career. I plan not to be part of that 62%, and that's why I'm taking preventative measures now and going to Mallorca for 7 nights. You're probably thinking that's a great excuse, but it is a very genuine issue. Over the last couple of months I've been very busy on the YouTube front, and when I was booking all this travel months ago I thought, you know, by the time I get to April I'm going to be totally exhausted. Well, as it turns out, I am totally exhausted, primarily because of my sleep. I'm never a great sleeper when I'm on the road, and there's also the issue of sleep deprivation when I'm traveling. So it is 4 AM, did I say sleep deprivation? Let's get airside. I'm going to get a coffee if there's anything open at this ungodly hour, and I'll explain more as to what I'm up to and what I'm not doing while I'm away. Oh good, the bird and cygnet is open. I thought they'd still be in their nests at this ungodly hour. They open at 4 AM, I just timed that well. First customer of the day, cheers. Yeah, sleep deprivation, 4 AM, 3 AM up, but I haven't slept. I never do because of the early stupid o'clock departures. That's something I continually try to avoid, and I keep slipping into my old ways. It's very hard to avoid it when you live in Glasgow, that's for sure. Because if you want a direct flight, you're going to be leaving at stupid o'clock on Ryanair or EasyJet or Jet2. I'm trying to get to Palma. There were no direct flights this morning, so it's KLM by Amsterdam. I was just looking at the departure board over there. There is actually a Jet2 flight leaving about an hour after the KLM flight to Amsterdam. And I'm thinking, I booked this about 3.5 months ago. Why didn't I book Jet2 direct? And it had to be down to money, that's what it was. Of course, Jet2 only give you a certain amount of cabin luggage. On KLM you get the one small bag which my wheelie bag qualifies for. And this is actually quite funny because I feel really weird. Usually I travel with a backpack, but because I'm away for 7 nights, I've got a little bit more luggage and it wasn't going to fit in the backpack, so I've got a wheelie bag. And I feel naked not having anything on my back here. Also, I'm going to have to overcome the issue which every other YouTuber seems to manage and I don't. How do you operate a GoPro with one hand and pull a wheelie bag with the other? I'll get around that somehow. This is good coffee, by the way.
Flight LS 189 to Palma will shortly be available for boarding.
And here we are at Schiphol Airport. I've got about 3 hours here, so there's no mad panic. Unlike the last time I was here, I had about a 1 hour connection, and although it was a valid connection, I was too busy recording into a GoPro, and I went towards exit formalities and entering the Netherlands instead of staying airside. So I had a bit of a panic. In fact, I was the last person to get on the shuttle bus to the aircraft. As soon as I got on the bus, the doors closed behind me. Right, I'm looking for Area C. Aha, this is where I went wrong last time. I should have kept left, I went right. Okay, I know where I am now. There's that groovy clock. Just to prove it's not just coffee or beer I drink. Yep. Can I just say, getting from my aircraft seat to the front door of the terminal took longer than it did to get through the EES system. That was a breeze, just like that. Just wasting a bit of time here at Schiphol Airport. Flight leaves in about 2 hours, just over 2 hours. Flight time of 2.5 hours, and it should take me no more than half an hour to get to the hotel. I'm looking forward to it. Geez, oh, that is one seriously large airport. I thought I was never going to escape. I kept following the exit signs and they just kept going and going and going and going. Well, here we are, Palma de Mallorca. I've been here before, but this is my first ever visit. Back in August last year, I did a low-cost airfare challenge and I had to spend the night here at Palma Airport. I arrived after sunset and I left before sunrise and I saw nada, which I think means it doesn't really qualify as a visit, does it? So this is my first ever visit here, especially in daylight hours. We are on a little wild goose chase there, but I think I have finally found something that looks slightly recognizable, even though it was at night. Yeah, I think I might know where I'm going now. Maybe. Maybe it's just me, but if I do stay at an airport hotel, I like to have it within 15-20 minutes walk. I don't like relying on taxis or buses or courtesy coaches, because there's a good chance I'll stand in the wrong place or it won't turn up. But if I can actually walk to the hotel, then my destiny is in my own hands, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a feeling I walked along here at about 8 o'clock at night. Yes, it's starting to look a little bit familiar now. In the never-ending terminal building, which was Palma de Mallorca Airport, there was a thermometer and it was indicating it was like 25 point something degrees Celsius out here. I'd believe it. Oh, look who's wearing long sleeves. But then I did come from Glasgow this morning, didn't I? This will be addressed as soon as I get to the hotel. I was looking at the weather report for the next 8 days, and apart from Sunday, where there is the possibility of maybe showers, the rest is going to be more or less like this. This is more like it. The hotel I stayed at when I was here for the one night was the Leo, which is part of Hyatt. It's one of their many sub-brands, and it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful. And that was, of course, the first place I looked at when I was booking my 7 nights here. Unfortunately, the difference per night was sizable, and when you multiply it by 7, it was a non-starter. But I'm quite happy to stay at the Hotel Java because it seems to get a good write-up. Across different platforms, it seems to average about 4.3 to 4.5 out of 5. It's got an indoor-outdoor pool. It's got a gym, which I plan to be using, yes. And it's about 600 meters from the beach. And we should be there very shortly. Just on the other side of this footbridge, I passed a chicken. Yeah, he's just standing there watching me, and I just walked past, watched him. And I thought, where on earth does a chicken come from? I think up here there's a couple of small farms or allotments, and he's probably escaped from there and against all odds managed to cross this busy road. That is one clever, lucky chicken. Are you missing a friend? There was another reason why I went for the Hotel Java. It's easy enough to get into the city centre of Palma. I've only been on this road for about a minute and 3 buses have passed me. In fact, there's a 4th bus coming up. There's 5 different bus routes and they all funnel into this one road which takes you into the centre of town. So you're waiting no more than 30 seconds. In fact, here comes another one now. And there's the Leo. It is a beautiful property, that. It really is gorgeous. And I was disappointed when I just couldn't get the right price to stay there. Maybe next time, but I'm sure the Hotel Java is going to be just as splendid. And there we have it, the Hotel Java. My home for the next 7 nights. And here we are, and I've just actually had a sneaky look at the view. I'll leave that till later. Right, this is, I think it was called a standard double, even though it's made up of 2 twin beds. But let's go for a guided tour before I start destroying the place, because if I'm going to be here for 7 nights, I'm going to have stuff everywhere. Let's go. Okay, as per a lot of rooms, you have 1 seat, 2 guests. A power point by the side of the bed, which is good for charging overnight. Individual reading light. Let's see if it works. Oh, yep, that's bright, yep. The bed itself, oh, that feels really nice. And the mattress itself, I think I'm going to enjoy this bed. It feels fantastic. Fluffy towels and soap. 2 sets there because it is a twin or a double after all. Another power point here and a phone if you need it. Storage area. A small safe. It's locked because you have to pay for it, and it does not accommodate a laptop, which is disappointing considering I have a laptop. On the other side we've got loads of hanging space, and I hate these kind of coat hangers. Okay, what is down here? Fresh air in this drawer. A fridge with 2 complimentary bottles of water. In the bathroom, nice and bright, loads of toiletries and things. Oh, I've never seen them before, that's cool. Okay. And a toilet and a lovely big shower with a choice of shower heads. If you want any more information on this hotel or any other hotel in the Expedia program, please use my affiliation link. It doesn't cost you an extra penny, but I will earn a little commission. So you ready to see the view? It's not actually all that bad. Let's get this heavy door open, and here we go. The room description said it came with balcony furniture, and I think that's what that means by these 2 chairs, an ashtray and a small table. The idea is to go out there at some point and work on the laptop. Okay, it's an R&R thing, but usually when I travel I've got a set itinerary and it's boom, 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 boom. This time I'll make it up as I go along, but I will be getting a couple of things done because I'm kind of spinning 3 plates at the same time at the moment, different projects and stuff, all connected to planes, trains, everything. And that was another part of the reason why I came here, because when I'm at home I never seem to get the time to do it. There's always too many distractions. But here, the only distraction is the Mediterranean Sea. I was just having another snoop around this beautiful room, and there are 3 obvious power points. No USBs, but 3, and I only need 2 power points because I only tend to charge 2 devices at the same time. So this is going to be fantastic. I'm going to get changed into something a little cooler. I'm going to unpack, I'm going to unwind, and I'll see you a little later, and I think we should go out and get something to eat, and I know exactly where to go. Okay, after a long leisurely unpacking and hanging up of shirts, I'm now ready to do nothing. I'm dressed, ready for the temperatures. Oh, that'll do enough of that. But I'm going to lie down, I'm not going to sleep, but I have not slept for about 30 hours and it is starting to catch up with me. I'm leaving the window wide open, or the door wide open, so at least the noise will keep me awake, but at least I'll be able to recharge the batteries a little bit. And from about 6 onwards, I think we might pop out and see if we can find that Italian restaurant that I ate last year when I came here just for the night. It's down there somewhere. Okie dokie, it's just gone 6:15 p.m. I didn't sleep, I didn't expect to, but at least it's taken the edge off the fatigue. It's given me a little bit of extra energy now. I can go out and get something to eat. Hey, look what I found. Good news. A do not disturb sign. I always look for these when I stay in a hotel more than one night. It means that the cleaners will not be going thump thump thump. Hey mister, can we change your bedding? I will not be interrupted, and if I choose not to go down for breakfast, I can sleep in and they won't be hammering the door down, although it won't stop them from making an almighty racket at 8 a.m. I was just thinking as well, I am actually pretty hungry. Why is that? Because I had breakfast at 3:30 a.m. I had a croissant at Schiphol Airport, 1, and it's now gone 6 p.m, so no wonder I'm getting hungry. So I might go out and see if I can find this little restaurant I ate at when I was here for the one night last year. Italian restaurant, no paella, no calamari. Not this time anyway. I read online that this hotel is very big on cycling and cyclists. And as you saw, as I was leaving the hotel there, a couple of cyclists came in with their bikes. And they seem to have a little desk there as well where, I don't know what it is, but it could be cycling insurance you can buy. I mean, they're really into their cycling in that hotel. Right, down here, left towards the promenade, food. I was just thinking, it feels weird wearing shorts. It's been a long time since I've worn shorts. I'm hoping that the brightness of my legs isn't blinding people. The funny thing is, I saw none of this when I was here last time because it was night time. All these shops were closed. The only thing that was open around here was the Italian restaurant. And I think I might have found it. This is it. So there you are, trying to line up the perfect shot, and these cyclists arrive from nowhere and stand right in front of me. I'm sorry, but that was absolutely delicious. Couldn't quite get the same table I sat at last year, but hey, the beer was the same, I remember that. How cool are these? These are balls made of seagrass, and they get washed up on shore, and they're just solid, matted, dead grass. Absolutely amazing stuff. Now I'm going to go for a little walk, and then I might have an early night, because like I said, I've been up since about 3 AM. This video is all about burnout and its avoidance. I've written a couple of things down here on this bit of cardboard. YouTube recommends posting a minimum of once a week for consistency and avoiding burnout. Now for the last 2 months I've been uploading 2 videos a week. And when it's a travel channel, you have to travel to locations just to start filming, and it can take its toll. It's characterized by fatigue, tell me about it. Lack of passion, definitely not. An obsession with analytics, nah, not really. Leading to a great creator resignation. I'd never heard of that expression before, but apparently just after COVID it was actually very big. It means voluntary resigning from their work. And I do know a lot of YouTubers just can't take any more and they just disappear. I mean, there are some YouTubers that I watch and they post a couple of videos daily. There are some which haven't posted for about 6 months. Where have they gone? Who knows? They've just burnt themselves out. It says here, overcoming this by setting strict boundaries, diversifying content. That's what I'm actually trying to avoid doing because the analytics don't like it. Taking breaks and prioritizing your health. Now we're talking. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing tomorrow. There's no strict agenda, but I fancy not playing volleyball, which is very popular here by lots of things. I'm thinking maybe catch a bus into Palma, go for a little wander, and then maybe walk back just for a bit of exercise, because that is one thing that has been lacking over the last couple of months, exercise, and I need to get back into a routine. Well, good news. Well, good news for me anyway. I found a place that sells single servings of paella. That is me sorted. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe the night after, who knows. But usually when they sell paella over here, it's for 2 people. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the hotel now. I'm starting to feel quite... I need a sleep, I think. That bed is actually very comfortable, so I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. Well, I hope so anyway. I'm going to have maybe a snooper in the hotel when I get there, because there is a wellness center, there is a gym, there's an indoor pool. I might have a quick recce of what's available, and then I'll get up to the hotel room, I think. Hi everyone, and welcome to day 2 of doing as little as possible. Last night I had a pretty decent sleep. It did take me a while to drop off to sleep, but that's usual when it comes to a strange bed. But once I fell asleep, that was me gone. I give this a 10 out of 10, this bed. In fact, I'm giving it a bonus point because of this bad boy. This pillow, 80 by 40, and I know that because I found a label inside. I was curious to see what brand this was, because that is probably the best pillow I have ever come across in a hotel room. That ticked every single box. And as far as I can gather, they are made for the hotel trade, and these particular ones are made for Java hotels. So unless I nick one, I might have trouble getting my hands on these, but that was an amazing pillow. 11 out of 10 for the bed. The shower was a 10 out of 10, not hard to operate, on off, hot cold, boom, that's all you need, and I used both heads. In regards to sleeping itself, everything was going according to plan until about 11:15. Now this floor, as you'll see, has got laminate flooring, and that's always dangerous in a flat. And people upstairs arrived 11:15, and the lady promptly started to walk backwards and forwards in heels. I would have thought that'd be the first thing she'd take off when she enters her room, but it was obviously the last thing she did before she went to bed. So 15 minutes of constant walking around, and that is loud. So this morning they went to breakfast about 9, same thing, put the heels on, then promptly walked around for about 15 minutes getting organised. Pretty noisy upstairs. Next door we've got at least 1 adult and 2 young children. They make a bit of noise as well, but they're kids, so they're allowed to. And boy, are they hyper. I can imagine why they're hyper. It's a lovely place. So overall, I enjoyed the first night. I still can't go on about this pillow enough. What a brilliant pillow. Right, I have, as expected, missed the first buffet breakfast of my stay here. I woke at about 8:30 and I thought, boy, I'm still tired. And the reason why is because I didn't have any sleep the night before, so I think I'm allowed to have a bit of a sleep in. It is just gone 11. I'm going to head into the kind of villagey town bit, see if I can get an omelette or some sort of breakfast. After that, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. That was the gym, the wellness area and the pool. Very, very nice, and I will be trying out the gym. I just had a thought, after breakfast I might go for a walk. I might walk into Palma. I was looking last night how far it is, and it's around about 7 kilometres. That's easy. I might not walk back, but at least I know the buses pass through here. Yeah, let's go and get some breakfast. Now that's the way to see Mallorca. One toasted ham, cheese and tomato sandwich later and I'm a happy man. Tommy Burger. What a nice man in there. He can speak 8 languages. Right, we shall go for a walk to Palma. I've just done a quick calculation. It's actually more like 10 kilometres, not 7 or 8 kilometres, but we can do this. I did bring sunscreen with me, but of course I've left it in the room, didn't I? We'll be fine. This is a beautiful little cove, isn't it? Yeah, I do love the Mediterranean shore. No need for Google Maps today. As long as I keep the Mediterranean Sea on my left, I'll be fine. So let's talk poor sleep or sleep deprivation. Firstly, I'm a very light sleeper. Someone can go, boo, and I'll wake up. It's terrible, it really is. When I'm on the road, I generally spend 1, maybe 2 nights in a hotel, then I'm moving on. And I never sleep well for that first night in a strange bed. So by the end of a trip, I'm absolutely exhausted. Because I've been doing 2 videos per week, you can imagine by now I am absolutely shattered. And that's why I think I needed 7 nights of R&R here in beautiful Mallorca. But I envy people like Sue. Sue can actually fall asleep sitting up, right? She can fall asleep anywhere. My dad used to be the same. I remember when we lived in Sydney, I used to say to him, you could sleep through an earthquake, Dad. One day he did. Woke up, the whole house was shaking. I was brushing my teeth at the time. And when he woke up, I said, so did you hear the earthquake? What earthquake? I envy people like that, I really do. So 7 nights in the same bed, and a very nice bed. I reckon I'm going to be feeling like a brand new man in a week's time. Yes. I saw this track on Google Maps. It was actually Google Satellite, and I thought, is this going to be one of these crazy shortcuts I always seem to take? No, it's actually well formed. No chance of getting lost here. Good old Ryanair. They always seem to build airports next to beach resorts. It's almost as if it's a reminder, haha, one day you're going to be going home. Now it's EasyJet's turn. Right, who's that? Louder. I'm guessing this is a very old limestone quarry. I can think of worse places to pitch a tent. One beautiful bay after another after another. Are you suffering from med fatigue yet? I'm not. A seat in the shade is just what I need. According to the Google Fit app, I've walked about 7k so far, so it must be about 3k to Palma. And the question is, what do I do when I get there? Now that looks interesting. I wonder if we can get in there. These look like the original city fortifications. I think we should go for a little explore. I wonder what's in here. Well, it seems to be the entrance to a rather impressive building. I don't think it will go any further. Just in case I'm breaking the law, you know. Now that is beautiful. I wonder if there's much of a demand for electricians in Spain. Jeez, oh. Well, this is the old part of town, and it is absolutely beautiful. Back there's a gelato shop, and it had about 20 people queuing to be served. Just along the road there was one, no one, so I went there. That was a case of FOMO, fear of missing out. People just join queues because there's a queue, honestly. This is nice, by the way. Aha, I sense this is where the most expensive restaurants in town are. Hey, it's 26 degrees Celsius today. Let's dress up as a transformer. Sadly, he's all sold out of St. Mirren shirts.
Ada bu yang pendapat ada lalu.
Well, I was just checking and my daily 10-kilometer walk target has been well and truly smashed today, which is good news. There is one video I want to shoot while I'm here in the Palma area. It'll be a separate video to this one. I need to go and do a quick recce. It'll take me about 10-15 minutes, but I'll see you then. Yeah, tomorrow or the day after, depending on whether I can get out of my bed early enough, because I was looking at some of the crowds here and wow, it was busy. I mean, they seem to be able to accommodate everyone. There's enough carriages on the train, but yeah, it's a great old train, that, a great tourist attraction, and I'm going to feature it on a separate video. Okie dokie, I'm going to head back to the hotel now. Hotel Java, base camp Java. All I have to do is work out where the bus leaves from and which particular bus leaves from this point. Okay, after some extensive research and a little bit of luck, some of them actually leave from this bus stop here. So, in fact, that is one of them, number 23. Let's see if we can get on board. Wow, that was one seriously busy bus. It's full, but the driver thought, oh, we can still squeeze some more on. Here's the Alua Leo there. I wasn't quite sure where the bus stop was. I knew it was along here somewhere. We're nearly back to the Java, and I'm going to have a shower. I was just thinking, that bus is a tap-on, tap-off service. You just use your credit card or debit card. It was so packed I couldn't get to one of these machines to tap off. I wonder how much I'm going to get charged for that bus route. Still better than walking, I suppose, isn't it? Wow, this room is like an oven. I have noticed that the sun shines directly into the room between the hours of 6 AM and 6 PM. It's just gone 4, so it'll be another 2 hours before the sun disappears behind the other part of the building here. Right, I'm going to relax, I'm going to have a shower, and I'll see you later on for maybe a dinner. Okie dokie, it's 10 minutes to 7 and it's time to find some food. And the number one favourite at the moment is paella, from that place I found last night that did single portions. I also want to see if I can find another adapter, UK to EU, because this one's a bit faulty and I need it for the laptop. Wish me luck. I'm just checking out how busy some of these places are. They're busy but not rammed. I cannot find this this paella place. Oh no. Ah, I think that's it. I did say it was kind of green, but it's more of a, what would you say, teal? Just been checking on Google to see if there's anywhere that might do a UK to EU adapter. I think I might be out of luck around here, especially at 20 past 7 at night. It's doing the job, it's charging the laptop, but only just. Can I just say that was absolutely delicious. Thank goodness I'm here for 7 nights because I'll be back. Now let's go for a little walk and see if we can find a shop that sells adapters. I'll tell you one thing, once the sun starts to set, it gets a bit chilly at the moment. This is being filmed in the first half of April. Oof, I'm one of the few people who are walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. It is a little bit chilly, but it's alright. Scots are hardy people. There are loads of these little supermarkets dotted around. I might go in there and see if I can get some supplies for the room, but I very much doubt they sell adapters. Well, I've had zero luck finding an adapter, but the one I've got is at the end of its life, but it should just about last, I think. And I got some supplies for the room as well. That'll keep me happy. Right, let's get back to Base Camp Java. I was just checking out the hotel's restaurant down there. It's a buffet restaurant and it's 20 euros per person. And I thought, I might give that a shot. Anyway, it is now gone, 8:30. And I'm going to close the door because it's getting a bit chilly. I'm going to do some editing tonight to keep it all up to date. And I'll see you in the morning. Good morning everybody, day 3. If you exclude the first night I spent here, I slept pretty well. That was because I was absolutely shattered, hadn't slept for 30 hours. Last night was the first proper night I'd spent here at the hotel, and as per usual, I didn't have a great night's sleep. Went to bed about 11:15, took me at least an hour to drop off. I woke at about 5:15, and I've been drifting in and out of sleep since then. It is just gone. I've lost my watch, about 8:30. I'm going to go down and get some breakfast. As a result, I haven't had a good night's sleep. I am a little bit tired, so today is going to be a nice, easy day. Let's get some food. Note to self, never go to the buffet breakfast between 8 and 9 a.m. That was chronic down there, absolutely chronic. Too many people, not enough seats, and there's a lot of seats and tables down there. It was packed. In fact, I had my glass of orange juice, a plate of rolls and things. Do you think I could find a place to even sit down? I just had to wander around aimlessly until someone stood up and I went, grabbed it. Boy, but from about 9 o'clock onwards, it actually improved. So, note to self, 9 o'clock tomorrow. In fact, it wasn't until I was on my way out I was actually able to see what food was on offer. I just could not get access to anything when I arrived. It was terrible. Today is going to be a nice lazy day. After my long walk yesterday, I thought, yeah, let's do a bit of editing. Let's just take it easy. So I'm going to soak up the view and I might do a bit of editing. Just to prove that I'm being a good boy and I'm actually relaxing and not going around doing crazy stuff. It's about 11:15. I've just done an hour's worth of editing. I'm about to listen to some podcasts. I'm going to relax until early afternoon. Then I might go for a walk up that way. I've never ventured up that part of the beach before. See what there is, and then come back and relax a bit more. Okay, I've been slobbing around for a couple of hours. I'm going to head out now. First things first, I'm going to go to the beach because I need to take some photographs. They say that when you do a YouTube video, you should have in the back of your mind what the thumbnail is going to be like. And this is all about burnout. And I said to Sue, I really have to think about what I'm going to do for a good thumbnail. And she came up with a great idea. So I have to go up there, get a couple of shots in the right kind of angle, that kind of thing. Then I might go and get some lunch as well. Just looking at things, it's a little hazier today than it has been. But it's still warm. It's about 24 degrees Celsius. So I better make sure I slap on some of that sunscreen this time. I'll see you outside. I've slagged these trains off a couple of times around Europe, but I think this could be the time I catch one while I'm here in Mallorca. What do you think? I'm just going to walk along the promenade a bit. I think it's all going to be like people with beach this side, palm trees, people eating and drinking that side. Most signs here tend to be trilingual, if there is such a word. Spanish, German and English. And in fact, when I hear the accents, it seems to be more German than British here. It might be just that time of the year. It might be school holidays in Germany, it might not be school holidays in the UK, who knows. But yeah, lots of Germans. Well, I've walked about 2 kilometers along the beach and it's exactly the same as it is back at Hotel Java, except they have these kind of shady areas. Otherwise, on this side, they have supermarkets, they have bars and they have restaurants. So I might just cross the road and head back because it's going to be the same again for the next couple of kilometers, I think. One thing I have noticed in this part of the beach is a large number of Thai masseurs. Some of them with little fish tanks, or those little fish that nibble your toes and stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. I've noticed there's a lot of these illegal African traders doing the rounds as well here in Mallorca. Police don't seem to do anything about it. Last night was enjoying my paella, and I will be going back for another one at some point. There was a guy there, and he's, you know, he was African, and he's going and going. He knew the joke. He was saying, "Rolex, Rolex, anyone? Rolex?" And I thought, yeah, the genuine article. Yes, I'm starting to realise that all the restaurants and stuff are exactly the same as they are all the way along the beach, because they cater for just the local market when they want to go out for dinner at night. They eat locally. They don't head like 5 miles down the road to a restaurant, because it's the same stuff there. So what have I managed to do so far? Well, I managed to get a couple of beach shots for the thumbnail. Managed to lose my sunglasses, but against all odds managed to find them again. I just retraced my steps around the beach. Hungry? Not really. Thirsty? Not really. Not even for a beer. So I might just head back to the room again, because I am supposed to be relaxing here. Might do a little bit more editing, who knows, and then I will take it from there. It is only 25 minutes to 3, so by the time we get to about 5-6 o'clock, I'll probably be starving. I love the way that every shop here is called a supermarket, even though there's nothing super about them. They're all the same. They all sell the same beach towels and footballs and buckets and spade. And then when you get in, you find a very small range of necessities at ridiculous prices. Nothing super about them at all. They're just bog standard stores, but they've got a fancy name on the front, and they're all identical. Looks like someone's rented my Porsche, but there's a groovy looking Mustang. An orange and black Mustang convertible. I could just imagine my son's face if I pulled up with one of those. He'd be going, "Oh, midlife crisis, Dad. Whoa." I think I'm a bit late for a midlife crisis, I actually think of it, but you know what I mean. And here we are again, Base Camp Java. Well, today's been a very lazy day. That was always the plan, and so it succeeded. I had breakfast this morning somewhere between 8 and 9. It is now 6:30 p.m. and I haven't had any lunch. I just wasn't hungry enough, but I'm starting to get a little bit hungry now. So I might head out and see what there is to get. I'm not going to have paella. I'm not going to have calamari. What could it be? That was seriously good. Good morning everybody, and welcome to day 4. Last night I had a pretty decent sleep in the bed. I'm definitely getting into that groove now. That's good. However, I was woken up 30 minutes earlier than planned because of the racketeer upstairs walking around in heels for a good 30 minutes before she left for breakfast. Speaking of breakfast, that is one thing I'm not having here, because after the carnage that was breakfast down at the buffet the other day, I'm not going to repeat that. Not between 8 and 9, and it is currently 8:35. No chance. So I'm just going to catch an earlier bus, get into the city centre. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm off to Solar today, which is on the northwest coast. I'm going to feature that journey on a separate video, but based on the crowds that I experienced the other day, I'm going to get there for the first or second service of the day. So let's get moving. I went past the entrance to the buffet breakfast. It didn't actually look too bad, but then it is now 10 minutes to 9. It's probably past rush hour. A number, I've written it down in a bit of paper here, 23 and a 25 and a 35, which is that one behind me. They will all take me to the main station, and that's where the Solar Railway leaves from. But there's buses every couple of minutes, so let's get on one of these buses. That's not a bad bus service. It's actually pretty good. It only took about, I don't know, 15 minutes to get here. Yeah. I was able to see around the bus this time, and I still couldn't see a place where you're supposed to tap off, and it did say online, tap on, tap off, or you'll be charged a maximum fare. Before I left the hotel room this morning, I was checking to see what I'd been charged the other day. Remember, I went from Palma to the Hotel Java, could not actually see anything because it was so rammed, and I just managed to squeeze my way off. Well, still haven't been charged anything apart from a 1 penny transaction just to make sure the account's valid. So I still don't know what you get charged. Maybe it's a flat fare, maybe you don't tap off because the machines only say entry only, so I don't know. Right, station's over that way. First train of the day leaves in about 45 minutes. I'm going to get something to eat for breakfast. I'm also going to buy a ticket to avoid the rush. This is what you're about to see in the next video. I'll show you a little teaser and I'll see you right afterwards. What a brilliant journey that was. I knew it was going to be lovely, but wow, one of the best little train journeys I think I've ever done. Definitely worth it, and make sure you watch out for that video because it should be coming along after this one. Okay, it's just gone 20 past 3. I'm supposed to be relaxing, not gallivanting around the island of Mallorca. So I might actually just find a bus, head back to the Hotel Java, relax a little bit. Then we'll have to start thinking about food again because I had a late breakfast. I haven't had lunch and I'm sliding straight into dinner. Okay, bus number 23 and 25, they are the magic numbers I'm looking for, and they leave from over there somewhere. Wow, another packed bus. I was lucky to get off. I really had to just squeeze my way through. Right, let's get to base camp Java. Well, for the last 2 hours I've just been slobbing about. It's just gone 6 PM and I'm getting a little bit hungry now, so I might head out and get a bite to eat. I've also been spending that time backing up the footage which I shot today on the solar tram. That's going to be an excellent video. I'm looking forward to seeing the final results. Right, are you hungry? I definitely am. Let's get some food. I must say the weather is definitely changing. It has gone overcast. Before it was just a bit misty, but it is overcast now and there are showers forecast for tomorrow. And that's why tomorrow is going to be a lazy day. So who's a happy boy? Calamari and Paulaner. Cheers. And that is good beer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Golden Tap. Not very Spanish in name, but it's a great place, and the calamari is brilliant. They have one of these stands outside the seated area with one of these menus, and you can flip through it. And someone came over straight away, what language? And I said, English, and I'd already found it. And I said, aha, calamari, yes please. I think he was a little surprised that I was so quick off the mark wanting to take a seat, because I'd found what I was looking for. So I sat down, and he pointed out, calamari you wanted with bread? Yeah, breadcrumbs, yes. So he said, you wanting a beer? And I said, yes, I'll have a Paulaner. It is not an English beer, it is German, it's a wheat beer. And I said, yes it is, yes, a good beer. Paulaner, yes. So he probably doesn't get too many British people asking for Paulaner. But yeah, brilliant. Hey, if I see Paulaner, I'm going to request a pint. Anyway, it is just gone 5 minutes past 7. I'm going to get back to the room. I'm going to do a little bit of editing tonight, kind of relax a bit. Tomorrow is supposed to be maybe showery, but a lot colder than what it is today. So I'm glad I did what I did today. And on Monday, I don't know what we're going to do on Monday, but we'll do something. Right, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning and welcome to day 5. Again, the bed hasn't let me down. Fantastic bed, fantastic pillow. I really want to get one of those pillows home, but I don't know if I can do that. Sleep quality is pretty good actually, considering. I went to bed at about 11:30 last night. 11:45 the racketeers arrived. They slammed the door, walked around a bit, but they settled down after about 10 minutes. I woke up around 2:15 and I thought something had fallen off a shelf and smashed. It was actually a dream of some sort, but I woke up, my heart was going boom, boom, boom. I thought, what on earth? Went back to sleep, woke again at about 5, don't know why. Could have been someone leaving. At Palma Airport you've got Ryanair, EasyJet, Jet2, all of these low-cost airlines leaving at the unsociable hours. It could have been someone leaving, it could have been someone just flushing a toilet or slamming a door, who knows. But I fell back to sleep again, but woke again at 8:30. That's when there's a lot of movement in the corridor outside, because 8 till 9 is rush hour down at the buffet breakfast. So what time is it? It is approximately, I don't even know, 5 minutes past 9. I'm going to go down there towards the 9:30 mark. That still gives me an hour, and I think by then things should have died down. In fact, while I was having a shower and getting ready, I could hear all the movement in the corridor, so it must be pretty busy out there. The weather today is not looking great. I'm looking at the palm trees and they're all kind of blowing like this, and yeah, it's not looking like the sort of day you want to do some sunbathing or anything, so it's going to be a nice lazy day. The weather forecast was right. Right, let me just get finished and I'll see you down at breakfast. Hopefully we can have a better look at what they've got to offer. Yes, definitely breezy today. Not overly cold, just very, very breezy. Okay, my cunning plan worked. The buffet area wasn't too busy-ish, but it wasn't too busy. In fact, there was actually at one point a queue of people waiting to leave the place instead of coming in. Last night I had a problem with the wind. It was blowing against this glass door here. And being a light sleeper, it was kind of doing this. So I had to kind of jam a bit of paper in there to stop it from moving around. Well, breakfast this morning was actually heavy going. I went for the Spanish option and I didn't realise how meaty that would be, but it was quite heavy. Afterwards I had the fruit salad just to balance things off a bit, but as soon as I got back to my room here, I lay down and I fell asleep for another hour, and that's something that doesn't usually happen. I am so tired. And I know I'll go on about being tired, and over the last couple of years people have actually left comments, oh, this Scott going on about how tired he is again, but it really can get you down if you don't get over the tiredness. Steve Marsh's partner Alicia suggested I try CBD, which is a kind of a cannabis sleeping agent, I guess you could call it that. That doesn't really work. Nothing seems to work for me to get to sleep or have a good solid sleep. And I think usually when I'm on the road, I just battle my way through it, not realizing how seriously tired I am. Here, I don't have to do anything for a week, and I can see how tired I really am. So I really have to get this addressed. I don't fancy going for a walk in the wind. Let's go. Now there's something you don't see every day. Maybe it's a common occurrence in Spain, but I've never seen it before. A nun on an e-scooter. Well, I managed to get some stuff that'll keep me going for the next 2 days, including a yogurt. It's not all bad stuff, but I've come to the conclusion today is officially a nasty day. I'm just thinking, yesterday on that train trip I did, at Solar there was a guy playing bagpipes. Not the Scottish type, the Spanish type. And now with this weather here, I'm starting to get homesick. At the start of this video I said it was about burnout and its avoidance. Well, I can tell you today that I have been avoiding burnout quite a lot by not doing much at all. Apart from having breakfast, I actually went for another nap this afternoon. I've just been so tired today, so as a result I didn't get down to that gym, which I thought I was going to do. Got some serious editing done, and I was working on my next book, which is a major project, but it's approaching 6 p.m. now. The weather hasn't overly improved. I think the rain's off for a little while now, so I think we should head out. I'm going to get something to eat. It's still a bit breezy, but hey. In my defence, I didn't know what I was going to have for dinner. I'm wearing white and having a spaghetti seafood. What a mistake to make it. Look at this. There are lazy days and there are very lazy days. And today was one of the latter. But tomorrow I'm going to catch a local bus down to Arenal, which is the livelier end of this entire beach. I just want to have a look around, get out, get some fresh air, because today most of the day was spent indoors on the laptop or snoozing. But we'll make up for it tomorrow. So I will see you in the morning. Hi everyone, day 6, overcast, slightly chilly, but at least the rain has stopped according to the forecast. I thought it was going to be raining until about midday, but it's finished, so I'm going to get out. My problem on this trip hasn't been getting to sleep at night, it's staying asleep. And that's a problem I have from time to time. I wake up for no obvious reason at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, but I get back to sleep fairly quickly. I was lying in bed at 8:30, I woke, and once I wake and the sun has gone up, I can't get back to sleep no matter what. I have blackout curtains, the whole lot, they just don't work with me. It must be my circadian rhythm that's telling me, get up. You've been doing it for 40 years with a proper job, get up now. So anyway, you can tell what time it is just by the noise in this hotel. 8:30, you've got the noisy kids from next door, they're all excited, they're going down to breakfast. That's rush hour between 8 and 9, down at the buffet breakfast. From 9 o'clock onwards, you've got the first wave of cleaners going past, trundling their trolleys backwards and forwards. They're the ones who have left earlier in the morning to catch stupid o'clock departures from the nearby airport. But yeah, it was about 10:30 and I thought, I really must make a move, only to discover the rain has finished. So I'm going to go to Arenal, I'm pronouncing it right this time, but first I'm going to get some breakfast down in the town here. While I was waiting for my dinner last night, I was reading an article on the BBC, and it was about a tour operator who operate tours to more exotic off-the-beaten-track destinations, and people who are complaining because of their interrupted sleep. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll learn something here. One guest in the Seychelles was unhappy that they were woken by birds in the morning. Oh yeah, that's why you go to the Seychelles. Another found that the overwater bungalow in the Maldives was too close to the ocean and the sound of the waves kept them up all night. Oh no. And the one I like is, a guest was staying at a tented camp in a Kenyan game reserve and he was complaining because a hippo kept brushing up against his tent all night and he couldn't get any sleep. Well, I don't have problems with seabirds lapping water or hippos, so putting my problem into perspective, it's not actually that bad, is it? Right, I'm going to get ready, let's get out and get something to eat for breakfast. Tommy's is not a big place, I must have walked right past it. I got away from someone, not a subscriber, they just saw the GoPro. I have seen a couple of people wearing shorts, it's definitely too cold to shorts. But I think it's more of a case of bravado rather than common sense, you know? Yeah, definitely a chilly day today. Ah, here we go. You blink and you miss it. I cannot complain about the bus stops here at Hotel Java. This one here for Arenal, one across the road for Palma. The one for Palma is the one with all the people standing there. And of course I arrived here just as one was going past. But I won't have to wait long for the next one, I'm sure. Well, as it turned out, I only had to wait 2 minutes for a bus. 2 minutos. Spoken like a local. You get off the bus here at Arenal, and boy does it stink. I don't know what they're doing with all that seaweed, but poof, as soon as you step off that bus, welcome. So last night I was reading up on arenal, and the same kind of terms kept coming up. Terms such as high energy, young, and German. I'm just saying. The pattern that was forming by reading a couple of websites suggested that if you're coming here for a quiet, relaxing vacation, think again, because this is not what you're going to get here in arenal. I don't really know what I'm doing while I'm here. I'm just wandering around. But I did notice a lot of people were walking up these stairs, so I thought, let's do the same. I've noticed quite a lot of people walking along this road. It's just a standard suburban road here, but I was wondering what was at the other end, so I've actually had a look on Google Maps, and there's a kind of a coastal walk you can do. So that's where we're heading. And this seems to be the coastal path. This is limestone, and one thing you do not want to do on limestone is to fall, because it's pretty sharp. How cool is that? All these ancient shells. Aha, I wonder if this is actually the coastal path. This is more like it. I'm wondering what this was. It's obviously been carved out. It must have been salt pans or something. This seems to be not actually a track as such, more a series of ill-defined paths that kind of go nowhere. Great fun to explore though. Here's another one of these curious things. I'm starting to think maybe they're just quarries, but then they do have a gap in the rock there, which does allow water in at high tide. I don't know, maybe they are salt pans. Right, let's head back into arenal, see what's happening there. Now that's the way to get around. I've kind of decided I'm going to walk back to the Hotel Java. It's a distance of about 4 kilometers, and around about the halfway point is where the more lively part of town is. I thought it was here, but apparently it's along the bay a bit, and by the time I get there, it's going to be thirsty work. I might actually have one of these beer things I've heard so many good things about. You can tell you're getting closer to the fun part of town because shops are now starting to sell t-shirts with slogans on them. The same kind of slogans you would find in Benidorm, if you know what I mean. And I can't tell you what these slogans are because this is a family channel. So you know you're getting closer to the hot spot in town. One of the biggest, most famous pubs here is Beer König, Beer King. It's so big they've actually got their own merch store. Homemade paella, yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. The chances of getting a St. Mirren shirt here are pretty slim. Well, we've reached the Beer König and it seems to be shut. I tell a lie, it's such a large pub it almost takes up an entire block. Prost. I might be in Mallorca, but it really feels like somewhere in Germany. In fact, it feels like Oktoberfest in there. This is one massive beer hall. Wow, it's huge. Just for a moment, just for a slight moment, you could forget you were actually in the Balearics and you could be in Munich or Hamburg or someplace. This place is nuts. I don't even want to imagine what it would be like at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or something. Oof. It's taken a little while, but I've found my first one. Alley hop. I guess it's easy enough to compare this place with Benidorm, but there is one big difference. Mobility scooters. There are none. no mobility scooters here at all. So if you do have mobility issues, Benidorm is the place to go. I'm here outside the Fontanillas Playa. Underneath, that's where Carrefour Express is. And I'll tell you, some of their prices, especially their own brands, are a lot cheaper than what you'd find at the supermarkets. So I'm going to go in there, get some fruit juice, and I need some toothpaste as well. Don't let me forget. Just in case you think it's just beer and coffee I drink, I do have the healthy options as well. Right, I'm going to head back to Base Camp Java, and I'll see you in a few hours, because it's just actually just gone 20 past 3. Time to relax. I just looked at the time and couldn't believe it had just gone 7 p.m. No wonder I'm starting to get a bit peckish. I didn't have lunch after all. So, you've probably had enough of my culinary experiences here. I'm going to leave the GoPro here in the bedroom. I'm going to go and get a bite to eat, and I'll see you when I get back. I just had a quick easy pasta. You didn't miss out on anything. But I was doing some research on sleep quality. Now this video is all about burnout, and the aspect of burnout I'm probably most prone to is sleep quality. It's always been a problem and I've never been able to work it out. But I did some research and this is what I found out. The two biggest culprits when it comes to poor sleep is alcohol and caffeine. Alcohol. Usually about 6 days out of 7 I don't touch the stuff. I might have a drink when I'm with my son Blair, but when I'm on the road I might have one to wash the dinner down, but generally speaking I don't drink much, and that's got a lifespan of about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours in your bloodstream. So if I'm eating at 7 o'clock, by midnight it's gone. It shouldn't be waking me up at 3 in the morning. In regards to caffeine, I only drink coffee in the morning. It's because of the early starts and it's part of a kind of a morning routine I've got. I never drink coffee at home. I might have the occasional tea. At night I drink decaf, but even then it has got a lifespan of up to 12 hours in the bloodstream. So even if I stop drinking tea at 4 or 5 at night, you know, in the afternoon, it could still be there early hours in the morning. So I'm going to have to look at that as well. It's just a case of trial and error. As for tomorrow's adventure, I'm going to go to a place called Sa Pobla. I saw that when the flight was coming into Palma Airport, and it looked cool because it looked square. The only reason why it's square is because it has a more of a square, kind of a circular road around it. The town itself isn't square. But I thought it could be an interesting place to go for a day trip. And it is actually at the end of one of the metro lines. So that's where I'm going to go tomorrow. I might feature that on a separate video because this video alone I think is well over the 1 hour mark at the moment. So I need to start thinking about how am I going to end this video, otherwise it's going to go on forever. So I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully I'll have some good sleep tonight. Good morning and welcome to day 7, my last full day here in Mallorca. I will definitely be back. I think I love this island. I will be back. Sleep quality last night was probably the worst so far. Wow. I had a beer at Beer König in Little Munich. That was about 2 p.m. so the alcohol would have been out of my bloodstream by bedtime. I had one coffee yesterday. It was around about 11 a.m. for breakfast. The caffeine would have been out of my bloodstream by bedtime. And I still woke up 3 times during the night. So at 7:30 a.m. the racketeers started moving around and woke me up. I thought, here we go. Now they left at about 8 and I thought they went down to breakfast, and they could have, but they were replaced by something else. And I thought, what on earth is going on up there? For a full hour, thump, bang, crash, scrape, drag, any other adjective I can think of. It was either the world's noisiest cleaners and slowest cleaners, or there's some DIY work going on. But what a racket. Well, I guarantee I wasn't going to get any more rest, so I've been up for a little while now and I'm going to be going out and getting some breakfast. The room itself is nice and cool. The bed is probably more comfortable than my own bed back home. There are blackout curtains. It's a perfect place for me to sleep, but I'm still having trouble with that quality. So that is something I'm going to have to get addressed when I get home. Anyway, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go out and get some breakfast. It has just gone 10 minutes to 11. I think I should be getting some breakfast, yeah. I'd like to tell you a story about breakfasts. Back in my travel industry days, if you were really lucky, you'd be taken away on what was called an educational. And on an educational, which some people would call a jolly, You went to a hotel, it was sponsored by a hotel, you were wined and dined, you got to see the different room grades, different categories, and all the facilities there, in the hope it would make it easier to sell that particular property to your clients. That was the idea. It would include dinner, it would also include breakfast. And these travel industry professionals, myself included, always look forward to the breakfast. It's a thing. We love breakfast, you love breakfast, we love breakfast. So when I booked this, I knew it included breakfast, and I was very excited at the prospect. The first time I went there, it was a feeding frenzy, and that took a bit of a shine off the whole event. Second time I went there, I was able to relax a bit more, and I realised, yeah, like I say, buffet and Michelin never get mentioned in the same sentence, you know. The coffee was rubbish, the orange juice was watered down, you get the picture. Have I been back for a third one? Not yet. I'm not going there today because it's too late anyway, and tomorrow I don't think I will anyway, so 2 out of 7 breakfasts, yeah, that's about right, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to try and find a proper breakfast. I'm not going to go to Tommy's today, I'm going to leave that till tomorrow I think, because they do an excellent omelette. I'll try and find somewhere else. Oh, and I should mention I was going to do a little day trip to Sa Pobla, is that what it was called? I'm doing this from memory. That has been cancelled just because I'm so tired. I thought, why should I push myself to go there? I am coming back to Mallorca, it'll be there next time. And then I thought, well, I could just do the day trip into Palma city centre, because I only scratched the surface last time, and I thought, the crowds on these buses, can I really be bothered with that kind of nonsense? Palma will be there next time. So I'm just going to have a nice lazy day here. I mean, look how busy it is. Not very. I can go back to my room, I can relax. I do know I'm going to be having a power nap at some point, so yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. Yeah, but first things first, let's get some food. Okay, I've decided to go for a little walk just to get rid of the cobwebs. I'm just going to walk along the beach to Can Pastilla, which is the next village along, and then come back again. Also, there's no water in the property. I don't know why they've switched the water off. We weren't warned about that. But let's get moving. It's nice to see that the local councils are starting to scrape off the winter debris from the beaches, getting them ready for the tourist season. I wonder what they do with all that. They must use it as fertiliser or something for the council gardens. I'm just thinking how cool it would be to rent a boat for a week or 2 weeks and just kind of work your way around the island of Mallorca. How brilliant would that be? I'm just checking out the price of renting a boat here in Mallorca. It can be done. A skipper is mandatory. It can take up to 12 people, $787 US per day. Maybe not, maybe not. Good idea though. Oh well, I didn't get a chance this time, but maybe next time. I don't know how other YouTubers operate, but I find that if I have an idea, it very often leads to another idea, which leads to another idea. For example, a random overnight stay near Palma Airport has led to a fantastic week here in Palma, and hopefully it'll lead to another week later in the year as well. Well, it's just gone 7 PM. I've spent a good part of the afternoon sitting on my balcony soaking up some vitamin D, just listening to some podcasts. I did a little bit of editing. It's as up to date as I think it can get. And I'm going to go and get a bite to eat. I didn't have any lunch. So unless something spectacular happens in the next couple of hours, I'll see you in the morning. Day 8, and sadly the day I head back to Blighty. I have been really surprised by Mallorca. I knew it was supposed to be beautiful, but how beautiful? I've only just scratched the surface as well, but I really need to come back, and I will be back. This video is all about burnout. Was I approaching burnout, or was it just my continuing problem with sleep quality? And it's sleep quality. You saw how lazy I was. The work was up to date. I'm actually 99% up to date with my editing, but I still kept waking up in the middle of the morning, so it's nothing to do with pressure of work. The bed itself, probably one of the most comfortable mattresses I think I've ever slept in a hotel. In fact, this morning I took the sheets off to see if I could find a brand name. I've done some research online. They seem to be a generic brand, upmarket brand for hotels, but they don't advertise what brand they are. But I'm determined to find out because I want one. So I'm still waking up in the middle of the night, even though I've got this very comfortable bed, so it's got nothing to do with my sleeping environment back home. The area where this hotel is nice and quiet. Once everyone settles down, you could hear a pin drop. There's not a peep from outside. It's not as if it's waking me up at 3, 4 in the morning, but I'm still waking up. I've tried the experiment of no alcohol, no caffeine, still woke up in the middle of the morning. And I even remember a few years ago I read into this, and someone said that if you sleep north-south along with the magnetic poles, you will sleep better than sleeping east-west. And a few years ago I actually did that. I actually moved my bed to a north-south position, and in all fairness, do you know what happened? Absolutely nothing. So it's an ongoing problem. I will have to find a solution, but at least it's not going to affect my output for YouTube. I am not burning myself out, especially when you spend a week here in Mallorca. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for coming along. I will be back. Hopefully I'll be back this summer, maybe in the autumn, but I want you guys to come with me as well. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next time.